We all want to live the free, cheap, and easy life, don't we? Well, today we're going to let Bob Wells tell us how to live the good life. That's right, the Grand Poobah himself, the king of the desert. He's going to tell us how to get rid of everything, how to just, forget about a good asset, investing in something good. Go out and buy a vehicle and move your ass into that, because that's the best way to live.
Welcome back to my next class in the ultimate crash course to living on the road. Now, I can hear a selective exclamation out there, even from here I can hear it, of people who are saying, oh, Bob, I can't afford that. That's just, I know I would love to have a life of travel and adventure and freedom. Oh, it sounds wonderful. It's a fairy tale. I can't do it. No one can do it. Well, I want you to know.
Well, let's start there, first of all. Okay, back in the day, not that awfully long ago, you could actually buy a car or a van or something. Now, when you look at RVs and everything, these things are $100,000. Now, sure, the price of homes have gone up. Now, if you listen to our buddy Sarasota Tim, he'll tell you that the average house, or you can't get a house for less than $500,000. But if you live in, I don't know, if you're in Canada and you live in Vancouver, yeah, you're going to pay $3 million for a shoebox. The same thing in California. And yeah, the same thing in New York on this side of the country, on this coast. Yeah, you're going to get a little tiny efficiency apartment that's going to be, $3,000 a month, and you can stand in the middle of the room and touch all the walls, and that's what you got. But there are other places in this country that you can go to, and you can actually spend $100,000, $200,000 and get a home, a house. That's right. And sure, it may not be in a gated community or the best community ever, but it's still better than an RV that's basically tinfoil stretched over some toothpicks. And let's face it, folks, some of the places that we're going to see these RVers, it ain't the best neighborhood either. But let's continue on with old Bobo, shall we?
That you can. And all the classes in this course are designed to show you how you can do it. The key thing is to break the power of money on our lives. Whether we like it or not, money is a tyranny. It's a master in our lives. Yeah, if you want to eat, you have to have money.
That's right, Bob.
If you want money, you have to have a job. So our whole life revolves around money and getting a job to get money, and our very self-worth.
And even if you want to buy that car to live in, or even if you want that van to live in, guess what you need, Bobo? That's right. You need money. And he's going to say your self-worth is money. Well, I don't know. Maybe some folks, maybe the people you hang out with, but let's continue.
Worth is based on money and possessions and power and prestige and productivity. The 4 P's, I call them: possessions, power, prestige, and productivity.
Because let's face it, folks, no one wants to have any possessions. You don't need anything. You need nothing. I mean, it's 2024, almost 2025. We're going to be there soon. This technology, this cell phone, this little computer that you have in your hand, you don't need that. It's just a possession. And productivity, why would you want to be a productive person? Why would you want to have purpose? Why would you want to be a productive part of society? No, you want to be a burden to society. You want to lay around and wait for everybody else to do and hand you stuff. Productive. Oh man, why would anybody want to waste their time being a productive person? Power and prestige, well, not everybody's out to be a leader or some powerful mogul or anything. Some people just want to go about their daily. But, Bob talks about all this money stuff. We got to get rid of money, got to get rid of the want of money and the desire for money.
I make an amazing amount of money from YouTube.
more than 75,000, I take it.
An amazing amount of money. You wouldn't, yeah. I wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, so, yeah, we don't need money. Only Bob does. Only Bob does.
Our lives revolve around those things. You know, we talk about what our real values are, and we think about them, and we have words about them. But if you look at your life, those are the 4 things that you value in your daily life. And so we're going to have to make some changes and get over that and have new values.
Some people like to be productive, Bob.
The tyranny of money.
You can't.
Okay, so
you need
how
money.
are we going to live? Let's talk about the nuts and bolts of money.
Yeah, let's get down to it.
How can I possibly afford to live that way, Bob? It's just crazy. How are you going to be able to afford this life? Let's get down to the nuts and bolts. Lots of talking. But again, wherever you go, there you are. If there aren't some fundamental changes in your heart, you'll bring them out here and you'll just end up with more stuff and deeper and deeper.
That I'll have to agree with Bob. No matter where you are, there you are. So if you're someone who likes to collect little, like Eric, nomadic fanatic, if you like to collect little dollies and stuff and you have your little collections, guess what? Look, he's a nomad. And what did he do? He bought an entire shed just so he could collect his stuff. Remember when he had his little house? What did he do? He collected pinball machines and games. So it doesn't matter because, like Bob said, and I agree with him on that point, wherever you are, there you are. You're taking your ass with you.
Debt, and you'll crash and burn, and I don't want that for any of you. So first, we're going to eliminate rent. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get out of mortgages, out of rents, live in a car, van, or even an RV as cheaply as we possibly can. Step 1. I'll show you how to do that in the next class.
Okay. So let's just start there. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get out of your mortgage. Okay. So I talked about this before. Even if you start in your 30s and you find a house and you purchase that house, and yes, you need money to get it. That's right. You need money to eat. You need money to do anything. You need money to wipe your ass, Bob, unless you're going out and picking leaves and hoping you ain't getting poison ivy. But anyway, so you start paying and then you work through life. And then when you're 60, that 30-year mortgage is paid off. Can you go out and buy an RV now? And look, all I see now on YouTube is, oh, this is falling apart. That's falling apart. Even the Hanks are going through it. Oh, this is everything. He went around today. I watched the video. He went around and pulled up like 20 things that they got to take this thing to get fixed. Everybody with their frame flex. All these people are horrible. Go over to Liz Amazing and see all the horror stories of buying RVs. Don't prepare for your future in a house and get something that's going to be worth something and it will be sustainable. Go out and get a car, and probably a used one, because we don't like money. So you're probably going to get a used car. And how long is that going to last you? Are you going to need a new car every other year, every 2 years, every 3 years? Or should you just, invest in that house? But it's the Bob. He knows far more than I do. So
then
we'll let Bob continue.
You will need to live a minimal, frugal, simple life. You will have changed. The hole in your heart will have been filled, hopefully, over time. It's not going to happen overnight for most of us. And so that craving need for more and bigger and better and spending more things and surrounding yourself with more things will let go, and you'll be able to live with just the minimum amount of things. I want you to understand this, though, that having more things absolutely will not make you happy, but at the same time, having less things absolutely will not make you happy.
It won't. But why do we have to live in a car to do that? Can't you live in a modest home and still be frugal and live minimally? You don't have to run out and buy new clothes every day just because you have a closet big enough to hold them. You don't have to have every kitchen gadget just because you have a big kitchen and you're not living in a van. You don't have to go out and do these things. But some people reward themselves for being productive people and actually going out and being productive and contributing. They reward themselves with that comfortable couch to sit on, or a nice big TV to watch while they're sitting on that couch. Everybody doesn't want to shit in a bucket. Some people would like and prefer to flush a toilet. And that doesn't mean that they're not living minimally. They're just actually living and not like a damn caveman.
It's when you stop looking for happiness out here in things, either more things or less things, that you can find happiness inside by living in harmony with yourself, living in harmony with the earth, living in harmony with others, and living in harmony with the sacred. That's the only source of happiness on this planet. If you're looking...
And you can still do that in a house. You don't have to get rid of everything and move into a car or a van. And this is another thing that I always seem to find. The people that say this, like Tim, he talks about this crap. And now we got Bob. These are single people. So I'm going to take me and my wife, and we're going to leave. We're going to get rid of all this shit. Who needs these possessions? And we're going to move into a van. Okay? And then the two of us are going to be stuck in a little van together. And we're just going to go park somewhere. I don't know. We'll go to Quartzsite where everybody else is. And we'll just park there. And that's where we'll live. And boy, oh boy, are we going to live a happy life. I mean, I'm in touch with nature. I don't have any bills. I don't have anything. But we're stuck in this little tin can. And we can just roam around the desert and have a good old time. And boy, oh boy, I can't wait for the grandkids to come over so they can all pal in the little van and all of us can sit in there and have a... Are you fucking high? Are you high? These are all these single guys or single people going, well, yeah, I live in my car. Who in the hell would want to live in a car with a dog or two cats or your loved one? No. People, not everybody's a loner like Bob and Sarasota Tim and Nomadic Fanatic and Mike living free. No, some of us actually have people that are in our lives. We have significant others. We have family. We have children. We have grandchildren. And they're not going to come over and hang out and visit us in a fucking Prius.
Looking for it anywhere out here in more things or less things or at different things, you'll never have it because you're not looking for the only source of true contentment and peace and happiness inside your heart. So we're going to live frugal, simple lives in cars, vans, and RVs. Number 3 is we're going to adopt a lifestyle of reduce, reuse, recycle. We're going to start getting all of our things.
Okay. Again, you can't do this in a house or an apartment. No. You have to do it in a car. That's the best way. That's the life. You can't live this frugal life. You can't find true peace and happiness unless you're parked in in the woods somewhere or in the desert somewhere. You can't possibly do it in a home. And reduce, reuse, recycle. Again, you don't have to go out and buy clothes all the time. You don't have to be a Tim and go buy $100 golf shirts just because you took up golf again. Now you have to go buy 75 cute little golf outfits so you can impress the guys on the green. No, you don't have to do that.
Carrying it, we're going to reduce, reuse, recycle. In that way, by reducing, reusing, and recycling, we are going to break the tyranny and power of money. It will no longer...
I make an amazing amount of money from YouTube.
more than 75,000, I take it.
An amazing amount of money. You wouldn't, yeah. I wouldn't believe it.
Be the master of our lives. We will make our own decisions. The next thing you need to do is learn self-reliance skills. So things that you pay other people to do, you should try to learn how to do.
You can't do that in a house.
Your own oil changes. Then that's money you keep in your pocket. If you can learn how to repair your clothes, then you don't have to go to the thrift store and buy new clothes. You just keep repairing the ones you have. If you learn how to put in your own starter, which is a difficult job, but not impossible. Anyone can do it. If you learn how to get out of being stuck so you don't have to call a tow truck or change your own tire or carry extra gas, learn self-reliance skills so that you do things for yourself.
Well, a lot of people do that. I mean, I know tons of people that live in homes that change their own oil in their car. Yeah, they may not live in their car, but they still have one for transportation there, Bobo. They change their own oil. They do things that they can do. I know people that they get a flat tire. They know how to change a tire. I even know girls and ladies that can do that. So you don't have to live in a van or a car to know how to do these things. And again, we have people, it's like, oh, well, and kids especially, they grow out of clothes like that. They don't wear clothes out, they grow out of them. So this kid has these clothes, grew out of them, pass them down to somebody else. We do that all the time. And we live in a house. Yeah. We don't live in a car or a van. We're actually building dwellers. We live in sticks and bricks, and we still live that way. And you know what? We can be quite content and quite happy.
And you don't pay someone else to do them. You can start with that right now. Go to take a course in auto mechanics and learn the basics so that you can
take a course in auto mechanics. I don't think they're free, Bob. Maybe you can learn from the school of YouTube, I guess, and you can climb under your car with a wrench in one hand and your little phone in the other hand and watch how to do things, but go take a course? Doesn't that cost money? That thing that you want us to be getting rid of and not be a slave of? Don't we need our money to buy for our car and to pay the car insurance and to buy food? Isn't that what we need our money for? How are we going to afford all this stuff? Especially some of the people that you talk about, Bob. Aren't these people on fixed incomes like $5,000, $8,000, $1,000 a month? That's all that they have to live on? And you want them to go spend it on auto mechanics classes? Well, how are they going to eat, Bob? How are they going to pay their car insurance? You're not, don't tell me, Bob, that you're suggesting that people don't pay their car insurance now, are you? No, I don't think the Grand Poobah would say something like that.
You can take better care of your car without paying someone else to do it. That'll save you a lot of money and let you live a lot cheaper. Next, we want to learn to live in the tribe, to live in the community, to have harmony and connection to each other, and live and barter and trade in the community. We want to develop this tribe of people that I care for you, you care for me. Together, we live better together than we ever could alone. And so if you have a skill, you help me. If I have a skill, I help you. And so in that way, we keep our money in ourselves by we're not paying, or if we do pay, we pay a whole lot less for the things that we need done.
That's good in theory. It really is. I don't have too much of a problem with that idea. That idea might have worked, Bob, when you were 20 or 30, but guess what? I've been watching these nomads for a long, long time. And I've been hearing all about this great community, this one big happy family. I've been hearing about it for a long time. And I've been seeing a lot of, normal behavior. Like us disgusting people that live, in cities or just outside of cities or even rurally in homes. Us disgusting people. Us horrible people. Well, you know what? Some of those nomads, yeah, they're backstabbing assholes too. And this one big community thing, I haven't seen it working really good. Even these people that traveled around in their tribe, those tribes split up. People break up. Things go away. Yeah, it doesn't last forever. And yeah, I thought the whole idea was to get away from all this madness, but it's a good theory. I don't see it working though.
Skills and services. One thing I would suggest everyone do is to find a skill or a craft or an art or something, or a service that you can create and sell. Humans were born to create. One of the reasons we are so addicted to money.
Wouldn't that be considered being productive? Actually creating and being productive and produce something that you can go sell or trade for goods or services? I would consider that being productive. And you just gave us a whole lecture about you don't want to be a slave to productivity and money and all this other shit, power and everything. So I don't know. One would think that if you are the mechanic and you can do everything in this little community of vehicle dwellers and you can fix everybody's stuff, wouldn't that in turn give you the power over the community and the group? because they will all rely on you, and you have the power because you are productive. And sure, somebody else might be good at gardening or whatever, and they're producing a little bit of food, or they're producing some fine art that you can hang in your car window. I don't know. Or something cute that you can hang from your rear view mirror, maybe. But that's still being productive. But again, if someone has the skills that everyone in the community needs, I would consider that to be power. But what do I know? I'm not the Grand Poobah.
And things is because we no longer create. And so because we can't create things, we gather them in, we long for them, and we become addicted to them. So being creative, find a creative outlet, hopefully that you can sell or that you can teach, that will help you to live without money. But that ability to create and get the inward outward will
teach you how to live without money. Did you hear that? You can't live. He said in the beginning that you can't live without money. You can't do it. You need money. What are you going to do? You're going to walk into a grocery store and say, hey, I got these little trinkets that I made sitting in my car or my van all day, and I made these cute little bracelets. Can I give you 15 of these for a steak? I don't think it's going to work there, Bobo. But hey, it's a nice theory you got going on there. But yeah. And again, you can't be creative and you can't do these things living in a home that you're nice and secure and safe in. No, you have to do it living in a vehicle.
Will change your life and will really break the power of addiction to things and money. Another big thing we should all be learning is how to have a multi-purpose. So you'll have fewer things, but higher quality things. And that's my recommendation here, is that you don't have less things, but what you have is quality and will last and brings you pleasure. So
okay, so here's the big one for me. Bob says you want less things, but quality things. Things that are going to last. That would be a house. That would not be an old used jalopy to live in. Fewer things. You can still live in a house and have fewer things and be frugal. So buying something that's going to last, multi-purpose, like a home, you can live in it, you can store some things in it, you can seek shelter in it, you can do all kinds of things in a home. You can't drive it. Sure, you have to have a car, but to say, get rid of this appreciating asset, get rid of that and buy something that is rapidly depreciates. And again, you don't want money and you don't have money, so you're not going to go out and go to the bank and put yourself in debt, right, Bob? So you're going to go find a little $5,000 or $6,000 hunk of shit that, if you're lucky, you cross your fingers and then you went to that mechanic school, you can keep it running longer than 3 or 4 years, and you're going to live in it. So that's even more wear and tear. You know, it's just like these RVs. Well, they're recreational vehicles, and now people are living in them 24/7, driving them all the time, and they're falling apart, and they're going, I don't understand it, because they're not meant. They're meant for weekend warriors and vacationers. And no matter what they say, oh, it's a 4 seasons and blah, 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 and it does this. No, it doesn't. It's a fucking RV. Buy less things, but quality things. That would be not a used car to live in, or even a used van. Sorry, I don't agree with that one.
Find things that will last and that bring you pleasure. And
that's a house.
Find multi-purpose things.
That's a house
that does many things.
That would be a house.
You buy one object, spend the money on that, make it good quality, and have it do multiple things, so you have less things in your vehicle, and so you have takes up less space, and they're better quality and do more. That will help you a lot in the need, reduce your need for money and the slavery to money. And finally, most of us, we're going to reduce our expenses as much as we can, but we still are going to need a job. And so we're going to have a whole video on different jobs you can do to bring in extra money. If you're on a fixed income, you're making $800.
Now Bob's going to talk about jobs and all kinds of bullshit. So here's what I want to show you that while Bob's telling everybody to go ahead and break free and don't be productive and all the other good shit and go live in a vehicle. Well, should you buy land? Well, you watch that and he does tell you, yes, you should. I bought land in a van life home base. So you buy land. How do you do that, Bob? How do you buy land? Did you trade some services? What did you do? So what is it? Should we get rid of everything and not be productive and not be a slave to money?
I make an amazing amount of money from YouTube.
more than 75,000, I take it.
An amazing amount of money. You wouldn't, yeah. I wouldn't believe it.
So yeah, so just go out and get the best car that you can afford on your $800 a month Social Security, and you live in that, and then go buy some land so you have home base. I don't know. It's just so much signals. And then if you do look at his channel too, he sells all kinds of, don't buy this, don't buy that. You don't need all this, but we have tents and we have e-bikes and we have power stations and we have freezers and we have all kinds of shit that the Bob pushes. He tells you don't buy anything. Don't be out there being a slave to the man. Don't be out there overbuying. Don't be buying this stuff because he just wants your money. Oh, this is what I'm connected to this. If you buy this, I get a couple shekels. So buy this, buy these things, buy all this stuff. Don't buy anybody else's shit. Just buy the shit that I push. It's just, it amazes me. But again, like everybody else, it's the jolly old white bearded man that stands out in the woods and tells you, just run away from everything. You can live your childlike wonder. All you got to do is live in your car or your van and just park it somewhere and live for free. You don't need money. You have all your cares go away and just skip around and roll through the fucking grass, and life is just a dream. So if that's the way you want to live, go over and watch the Bob and he will tell you all about it. But I don't know. I think it's all horseshit, but you don't have to agree with me. That's never the point.
From Victoria Station in London, this is BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
What we do here is go back.